Luckily, they're not against each other. Otherwise, I'd be very conflicted.
And how much are you enjoying the fan zone here? Great atmosphere, food trucks all around the big screen.
Yeah.
You having fun?
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. I actually got to see, I have some people from the US, was it men's 50s team who are playing, and there are a lot of times they're on the big screen. There's a lot of good food as well, so I've been having the dim sum, and also we just had some crepes. I've also had like the cheesy food over there. Just a lot of food.
Love it. You're a man after my own heart. You got a group behind you. Let's see what they have to say about the World Cup, ladies and gentlemen. The people you meet as you make your way around the fan zone. Glenn Eaton, the Australian team photographer. 4th World Cup, mate, and I hear on the grapevine, the last one.
Sad but true, my friend, sad but true. We've been to 4, as you said, 16 years basically as an Australian photographer. My poor old knees have decided to pull the pin on me, so...
I hear you, brother.
Yes. Yeah.
How many photos do you estimate you've taken in that time?
In the time for Australia, I reckon it'd be close to about 500,000 images, to be fair.
So all of those action photos you've seen from previous World Cups, this is the man behind the shutter, Glenn Eaton, or Glenn Dog as I like to call him, long-time friend, mate.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your services to sport. It's been outstanding, and some of those images, they'll live on when you and I are both no longer here.
Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, awesome. Great to see you.
All right, brother.
Take care.
Too easy.
Well, hello and welcome here to Nottingham, Highfields 5. One of the games of the tournament. This promises to be semi-final action here in the Men's Open Division. The dark horses of the tournament, Lebanon, have been pushing all the way. They've taken the game to Australia in one of the closest contests the Aussies have faced in this tournament. But New Zealand looking to go one better after their silver medal performance in Malaysia in 2019. They should be primed and ready for this one. James Preston and Joe Wright to bring you all the action.
Yeah, and this is the game I've been excited. I've been begging for it all tournament. For me, this is about as perfect a stylistic matchup as you could possibly hope to see.
So we know Lebanon bring plenty of physicality to their performance, but it's not just about the power. There's also plenty of skill and speed, and for New Zealand, well, we know what to expect. It's almost the unexpected. They can conjure up something out of nothing at the drop of a hat. But in terms of the drop here, Lebanon will start first, and off they go, running here with Bakos. Bringing it forward, now Azzi, Catalano. Hoppy in an acting half, and Azzi bouncing around. Quick movement here from JP Catalano. Junior out of acting half, now back for Azzi, threatening to go long, back here to Catalano. Last one now, here's JP Catalano to Azzi, and nearly for Lebanon on the first set, but great line defence. And they'll get a penalty here as well, and Lebanon have been guilty of this throughout the tournament.
Yeah, and they've said that they want to rattle teams. They want to get in teams' heads. That's when they play their best touch. But New Zealand up to the task defending early.
Good meters here too for New Zealand. Already play 3, and they're only 15 away. They'll send it out to this left-hand side now, dropping it down. Heavy contact again from Catalano, all passive out the back. The idea was good. The pass just a little to be desired, and Mansour was on the spot. They're going to have to be quick to get around Mansour.
Yeah, he's got feet, but New Zealand manufacturing an overlap virtually from nothing. Both teams showing early their styles of play. Lebanon physical, New Zealand flash with the hands.
I momentarily thought they were going to bring that one back for a forward pass. There was a bit of movement from the referees up towards the spot, but thought better of it as Stanton is out there now for them. Worked away here from Sharbel Azzi. Drops it down. Last one here for Lebanon. They've taken off. Oh, nearly squeezing through a gap. Well, if they could have found Robert Knackler, that would have been interesting.
Yeah, New Zealand just eating up the space behind. As Lebanon look to go over. This is good midfield press, though, from Lebanon, trying to trap New Zealand in their own half. And I'll tell you what, if they can force a turnover here, they'll back themselves.
So now New Zealand up over halfway. Little ball here for Hotham, and Hotham back out to this right-hand side. Graham, nowhere to go. And worse than that, it'll be a turnover here for New Zealand. Forward pass off the ruck. An uncharacteristic error here from the Kiwis.
Yeah, and I think that just sums up the pressure that Lebanon put on teams. The way that they fly up in the midfield defence, that's the area of the pitch for me, the area of the Lebanese game that's been oh so impressive. The way they can just take away time from the attack.
So plenty of time now in Lebanon's attacking quarter here. They keep marching upfield. New Zealand on the back pedal. Tachi brings it up to the 7 now. Last one here. Nice quick roll ball. Catalano firing long. Lebanon score first. Mansour pointing to the ground. They'll award it. What a ball from JP Catalano.
Oh, Catalano, take a bow. What a pill. Flat to the line, and we said that's the recipe for success against these two teams, New Zealand and Australia. Take it flat, fix defenders, be brave on that try line and whip it to the wing.
Whip it he did, like a licorice whip for that matter. Catalano up to make the touch, or a little bit too heavy there from Catalano. If there's one player that runs a fine line, it is most certainly Junior Catalano. But he is fired up as per usual. Bakos up to meet them. Little ball here from Davies. Davies wrapping around, so too is the run here of Hutchison. Hutchison, though, leaves it behind. A golden opportunity for New Zealand, and Lebanon still in front here early on.
Yeah, they almost got in behind Catalano then. A little bit sloppy in the post touch, but get away with it. And if it wasn't for the fumble on the floor, New Zealand would have had us all square.
If they score again here, Lebanon, their backs will be right up as now Stanton. Great meters from him. Mansour, Azzi taking off. Just couldn't get the pass away though. Little hop and a skip, but probably had to go early.
Yeah, definitely had to go early. It was one of those where from the New Zealand pressure, oh, it's New Zealand, let's go around the outside. Hands to the wing. They look to, oh, lovely little show and go, and that's second touch.
So New Zealand, good meters here, only 15 away. They'll turn it back on the inside here. Finch, now a little pass for Davids. Davids keeps it alive here for Sinclair. Backpedaling. Lebanon stepping up to meet him. Wanting this penalty here is Sinclair. It's not forthcoming as of yet. Davids now takes the touch. Sinclair taking off. Oh, Stanton with a great read. There was a huge gap there and he had to get hands to it.
Yeah, it was a crucial read from Stanton, saving a try, but New Zealand with a fresh set of 6. Warning signs for Lebanon.
Sinclair now slowing it down. Already the makings of a great contest, this one, as Davids brings it to within the 7. Back to the middle here. Sinclair under pressure, gets it away. New Zealand clinical, finding space out wide. There's a try and we're all squared up at 1 apiece.
And I've got a feeling we're in for an absolute World Cup classic. Beautiful passive played, exposing the 2-on-1. Thought he could have just put the hammer down and go over himself. Is unselfish, secures the score. 1-1. And Lebanon, I mean, you've got to go up and get a score because New Zealand are riding the confidence.
So 1 try apiece here, and that won't help the cause here for Lebanon. Turnover on play number 1. That's a bit of a coach killer here for Mike Musa. As out it comes to this right-hand side for New Zealand. Again, strong contact in there from Bumelum. Could hear it coming through the Atmos mic as now Davids is on the charge. Oh, New Zealand starting to click into gear here. This is danger signs now for Lebanon. They'll drop it down. Great roll ball as well. Oh, good pressure stepping up. I'm not sure they did play at it. They're in the passing lane, but the hands were behind the back.
Yeah, it's one of those where it's just hit the midriff of the oncoming Lebanese defender. But New Zealand, as you say, really clicking into gear early.
So still plenty to contend with here for Lebanon. Oh, great dive from distance. Catalano had to get there quick, smart. Did so, turns him away. But David's looking very dangerous early on. Receives it back now. Out to this left-hand side they go. Little bounce around here from Willison. Now an opportunity back here for Davids. Oh, Mansour again, the speed. And they'll make the touch here. I think Mansour might have been the one to do it. Otherwise, it was back through the middle. Still pressure here on the Lebanese line. They'll send it out to the left-hand side for Hotham. Davids once more picks it up. Hotham bringing it forward. Touched on here for New Zealand. And it's another try here for Finn Barnett, who goes back-to-back 2-1 to the Kiwis.
Yeah, for me, the play before, ball had to go to the wing. Ignore me, we want to see spectacular tries and 2 tap-ons into the corner. And as you say, New Zealand conceded the first one, and it's like it just kicked them into gear. They found their confidence, and well, it makes for ominous reading for Lebanon.
2 tries to 1 here, a great start for Lebanon, but now New Zealand, things are whirring along for them as Bakos brings it forward here. Azzi slowing it down, back to Bakos, wrapping around now is Charbel Azzi. Azzi back to George Azzi, plays it inside the 7. Charbel squeezing through. Oh, Stanton was short, had to hit Stanton. He had that much time, he could have set up a picnic, but they didn't hit him.
Yeah, and there was 2 opportunities to go and hit Stanton. He'd found so much space, and this is where New Zealand are crucifying Lebanon. Look at the transition.
Sinclair now on the march forward. Once more, danger signs here for Lebanon, but they're not without their own opportunities here, the Lebanese. Now a little scoot away. The flick pass. Here it's ball on. Barnett for an early hat-trick. What a cracking that is. It everything except for the kitchen sink.
And it was a beautiful little lick. We could see it from our vantage point. It was on all day. New Zealand execute, and again, it's quality of the catch and pass. No check of the stride. 3-1. It's on.
So work to do for Lebanon. Really on that last set. If they hit Stanton, they score. Went for the long pass instead. As now they're down here through, picked up here from Catalano. Catalano finds a cracking ball on the spot here. Ryan Cross goes in. He's scored again. Gets another one here against New Zealand. 3-2.
this Lebanese side, they're intelligent enough to fix these things on the fly.
Well, this time they got a right link there with Goss. Blueprint for Lebanon. New Zealand keeping a wide berth. They go on the charge here. Speaking of a wide berth, they're looking for Barnett to get four. Oh, they just made the touch in time. Pulled up a little bit sore and sorry there, Catalano. So that'll be one to keep an eye on. It's New Zealand. Work it through the middle. Backos makes the touch. Great one-handed scoop from Graham. Once more, bombing to Barnett. Oh, Barnett's got 4 inside the first 10 minutes.
It's outrageous from Barnett. Over in the corner, the flat pass at the line. New Zealand doing a really good job of condensing the Lebanese defensive line. And then just the spiral bomb to the wing. And Lebanon, you've got to number up better because the overlap's on every single time.
Well, they need to be next to score here. They did have the chance to lead in this one. How'd they hit Stanton? Oh, good strong contact coming in there from Hutchison, who's certainly fired up. He follows up with another big one. Now Backos with a little dummy. Drops it down. Catalano again looking dangerous. Again, they've bombed long. Again, the link was on. George Azzi had miles of space. They've got to start recognising the opportunities there.
Yeah, they've got to start recognising it, but also I think that the New Zealand defence are in that passing lane to the point where the ball carrier for Lebanon can't actually see where the space is. So for Lebanon, you either hold that link a little bit more or you start to throw it on instincts. As we've seen 3 occasions, it's gone begging.
Well, Junior Catalano's been one of the standouts in this tournament, but at the moment it's JP Catalano with the hot hand. He's certainly found the mark multiple times here. He looks sharp through this middle. There he is again for George Azzi. Catalano drops it down. Azzi, oh, JP Catalano pops a little pass. They'll play it inside the 7 again. They like doing it, this Lebanese team. Azzi once more does so, but he wasn't square when he played it.
Yeah, and you can hear the roar from the New Zealand sub-box. They love a good physical defensive set. I thought they got away with a hard touch, full extension through the body. Doesn't matter as half is isolated, but Lebanon release early. New Zealand loving their game on pitch 5.
New Zealand maybe a little bit lucky to get away with that one there. That was a pretty awkward roll ball, but Lebanon were up early. It was one of those 50-50 calls. Referees favoured New Zealand here, who are up 4-2 at the moment. Touch being made out wide here. New Zealand once more on the charge, dropping it down quickly here. Poi Hippie sends it wide. Barnett hasn't hopped back on the field at the moment. Sinclair, little ball out the back here for the run of Davies. Last one here for New Zealand. A static start. Sinclair floats it along. They'll kill it away from the Lebanese box. Not their strongest set, but not a bad end to it nonetheless.
No, definitely not a bad end. New Zealand, again, using the full complement of 6, pinning Lebanon into their own half. And look at the defensive pressure. They'll look to force the turnover. And that's, right in the line of an intercept. But look at the feet. And extra yards made. They're going to need more of that if they want to stay in this one.
Backos had them backpedaling there as now Catalano heads up towards halfway. Now once more for Backos. Scooped up. Opportunities out wide. This time they hit Charbel Azzi in the link. It's probably one of the first times they've actually gone to link, and for once it wasn't on.
Yeah, it was like the only occasion where the link ball was not the right option. New Zealand numbering up much better, reading the Lebanese intent off the back of the transition. And Lebanon have got to change something because New Zealand are loving this game. The way it's being played at the moment suits them down to a T.
And once more an infraction in the ruck here. I actually think Lebanon have got away with one there. Azzi's foot, it looked like he was playing soccer for a moment. As Catalano drops it down. Here he comes again, Junior Catalano. Always full of vigour with every hit up. Out here for Charbel Azzi, or Catalano sweeping around. It's on here, just had to keep going. They were all offside. Charbel Azzi reels it in, but never back the distance was Graham. Had Catalano put the foot down, at the very least an extra set. Here he is again now. Catalano, oh, that was a great little sinker pass. Just out in front, though, of Charbel Azzi.
Yeah, Lebanon are millimetres away from kicking into gear. And I think for Catalano, the reason why he might not have taken that line, that hammy looks tender. He keeps holding it. I don't think he backed the ability to get there. We know he's got bags of speed, but it's giving him pain.
Might have to break out the Denker rub pretty soon, Catalano. So they force him back to the 7 here. Backos plays it now. It's the 2 Backos boys out there, Andre and Josh. Josh sends it out to this right-hand side. Here's JP Catalano. Oh, this time he certainly did find the right hole. Link was open. A good read from Davids.
Yeah, they're going for that link now. They've made the read. They must be the information coming from the sub box. The link is on. They're throwing it on instinct, but riding that intercept very fine.
Can imagine that Nick Musa and Stanton would have been the two to identify that one as Bakos comes forward. Nowhere to go. He's turned away. Back to the 7 now for Lebanon. Midway through the count. Got numbers here towards the middle. Goss has a great dive on him. Watch for that. Here it comes now for Tachi. Down for Goss. Very slow at the moment here for Lebanon. Need to condition these middles a bit better. They'll pick up now. Oh, Catalano. Great footwork and then throwing a ball long. Again, the long ball wasn't on though.
Yeah, it's not the right option, but the link also wasn't there, but a penalty for offside. And I tell you one thing, I've just been watching Davids in the link position. He is pumped for this. It's like he's taken the mantle of saying, I'm going to match you for physicality. You want to shove? We'll shove. And New Zealand with another 6 to defend.
They must have been watching the Australia v Lebanon game where that was very physical. New Zealand pumped and ready for this one. 4-2 the score. Back here for Catalano. Great footwork as he thought for a moment he wanted to play it inside the 7. They'll go again here. Azzy, Bakos having a dig at them. Oh, Bakos, has he got all the way through? Yes, he has. Bakos brings Lebanon back into the action. It's 4-3.
Yeah, New Zealand defender never hit the line. We could see it from here, always treading water, couple centimetres off it, and Lebanon finally stick the hammer down and go for the line. And Lebanon have started to make these offensive reads. They've started to recognise where the space is, and a valiant defensive effort from New Zealand, just undone at the last moment.
So 4-3 here. Lebanon back in contention. Need to hold out on this set though as Catalano makes the touch. Back here for Deurban Burgess. Now it's building nicely here for New Zealand. Oh, they've got numbers everywhere. Popping it out to this right-hand side. Great footwork again from Turner. Turning them inside out. Turner once more. Shows it here for Deurban Burgess. Gets it back. Quick strike dump. Last one now for the Kiwis. Passive out the back. Taken here. And off they go. It's Weeby putting the foot down up over halfway. We got pinged for an intercept against Australia. They couldn't take that one away from him though. Meters here for Lebanon. What a game this is. Tachi back out there now for them. So too is Goss. They'll be looking for the dive through him. Tachi out now for Catalano. Stanton. Back at first receiver once more. Trying to set them up through the middle here. Quick roll ball. Tachi. Stanton trying to sum it up. Deurban Burgess read it well and now a static start on the last here for Lebanon. Catalano just fling it away over the sideline. They'll penalise that every day of the week.
Yeah, a little bit disjointed from Lebanon, unfortunately. They just took a little bit too long to get the fresh legs onto the field, so an easy defensive set for New Zealand, and the penalty compounds the error.
So New Zealand up towards halfway now. Meters on offer here for Turner. Deurban Burgess draw and pass. Now, in fact, the dummy comes out. Good meters in the end from him. Davids caught by Tachi. Sinclair now, who's had the hot hand so far. Sends it on here for Morris. Sinclair with that hot hand once more finds Finn Barnett. A 5th, if you don't mind. He's got all of them for New Zealand.
Yeah, and tell you where that comes from. That comes from New Zealand conditioning the link passive. The Lebanese winger shuts early on the link. Brilliant offensive read. They just float it over. They say, okay, you're going to mark up the link. That means the wing's free. Lovely sinker. New Zealand on top.
5-3 as we get closer towards the halftime break here. Lebanon would love one more just to put them in with a good shot of things in the second half. Charbel Azzi back here for George. Straightening up. Josh Bakos wrapping around. They're offside there through the middle. No penalty called. Oh, and certainly Davids, he's been tempting them to hit that link all day because he has been jamming in, but this time he just held off with a run a little bit and took the intercept as a result. So New Zealand up over halfway now. This is a crucial set defensively for Lebanon. They're on the back foot. It's New Zealand keep it alive. Oh, one more and they would have been clean through. Still options on this right-hand side. Passive out the back. Barnett on the spot again. Absolute clinical precision here for New Zealand. And it's 6 for Finn Barnett in a semi-final.
And it's another beauty. And completely conversely from what we saw before. They conditioned the link, well then the wing had to hold, so they hit the link instead. And what can you do from an offensive perspective? And I'll tell you how good that score was. Mutual respect in the midfield, both middles shaking each other's hands going, yeah, what a beauty.
So Lebanon now in a precarious position here. I fancy one more try before half-time would really just kill the ego, damage them a little bit mentally as Goss drops it down. Bakos. Bumelum. Now Catalano hitting short this time. Well, Goss just inches from getting clean through.
Yeah, it's good options as well because New Zealand have reacted really well to the link hole being open, so they've condensed that spacing. So conditioning the middles is a good option, but another penalty for New Zealand. Lebanon, it's this midfield battle that they're struggling to get a hold of the Touch Blacks.
So fresh set here, 10 shy of the halfway line. New Zealand coming forward, oh, Bakos once more. Heavy contact. And Davids he's laughing and smiling out there. He's well and truly into proceedings here. Don't think he minds a bit of argy-bargy, and certainly Lebanon bring it. Drop down now, Sinclair. I think Goss's feet got in the way, actually. So they'll get one more chance here, New Zealand.
Yeah, it's a 50-50 call for me. That just slips in the ruck. New Zealand the beneficiary, and they'll have one touch. Don't put it past them to go play around this Lebanese defence.
Crucial that Lebanon hold out. 6-3 the score. They'll keep it alive here. Expect some fancy stuff to come out. Or maybe not. Simple dummy there for New Zealand to finish with. Graham will succumb to the touch. Cracking first half here. Lebanon have had their chances, but New Zealand just far too clinical on the line.
Yeah, and not only in attack, but the defensive reads have been so astute. They've reacted to the picture in front of them time and time and time again. And shout out Davids in the 15. For me, he's been that standout performer so far, setting the tone for this New Zealand team.
So at the break here, New Zealand in front in the semi-final, looking for a berth against either Australia or the Cook Islands. How does it all play out in the second 20 minutes? We'll find out very shortly, but at the break, it is the Kiwis in front over Lebanon, 6-3. Welcome back here to Nottingham, Highfields Sporting Complex, field number 5, but number 1 in terms of the action right now, New Zealand and Lebanon in this semi-final. It is the Kiwis with a lead into the second half, 6-3. Lebanon scored first, and they've had plenty of opportunities in this one, but the line defence of New Zealand has just been inspirational.
Yeah, and for me, it's the defence all over the park from New Zealand. The midfield press on the Lebanese transition's beautiful. And then the defensive reads on the line, literally just marking up on the outside shoulder of the Lebanese attackers, backing their ability to chase. That's been the difference in the first half.
So final checks here from our officials. Can Lebanon stage one of the comebacks of the ages here? They pushed Australia. They've been competitive in this first half, but a few areas they need to tighten up and really take full advantage of their opportunities as New Zealand get first use of the ball in this second half. Oh, Sinclair, great footwork straight away, opens them up, squeezing a pass, finding Rayhana Finch, who gets a 7th here for New Zealand. And finally, it's someone other than Barnett.
Yeah, they're finally sharing the scoring out. And we were saying at half-time, the early score for New Zealand would be an absolute killer to the momentum from Lebanon. And we see they'd condition that far side, little show and go, come back to the short side, and lovely movement from the winger to find the space. And Lebanon now, it's starting to look like a mountain to climb.
So Lebanon must be the next to score here. 7-3 the score, 6 for Barnett, 1 now for Finch, as Tachi brings it to within about 10 metres of the line. Tachi dropping it down again here. George Azzi crabbing out to this left-hand side of the field. Probably lucky to get that extra set there, Lebanon. They weren't square themselves in the play the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I was stood in this commentary booth making the mark. The hips were not square, but they ride the luck, and they need to make it count.
Catalano now at first receiver again. Oh, Catalano had to go himself. Well, once more, they've been turned away, but Catalano was over the line when he threw the ball.
Yeah, I think Lebanon will look back at this game afterwards and realise just how many opportunities, especially that man, Catalano. We know how dangerous he is, how fast he can be. Just seems like he's maybe holding himself back. That hammy, for me, he's giving him a bit of grief, and there's the hard touch, trying to make up for his mistake, but compounds it. And New Zealand, once again, on top in defence.
Well, who else would it be other than Catalano? Once more, he goes in for a big one. He's been fed raw meat before this game. Tachi comes in, also a strong touch there. She's there, firing up the Lebanese. Up over halfway they go now through Hotham. Now for Finch. Hotham, and then out here for Willison. Hotham again taking off, bombing long, what a ball. Finch for the finish. Oh, what a finish from Finch. That's acrobatic as they get. Forget Finch, he's Superman.
What a beauty of a finish in the corner. I've just been celebrating myself. I'm definitely not biased. I'd love to see a close game, but how can you not just ogle at the beauty of this New Zealand line attack? And this might be the best performance I've ever seen from a New Zealand men's open team so far.
Well, worth mentioning here, Lebanon have taken the fight to them. This isn't an easy walkover. This is a quality outfit, and at the moment, New Zealand just have so much firepower. There's no answer for the Lebanese. 8-3 the score. It's blown out rapidly. Let's not forget, it was 4-3. So now Lebanon with a lot of work to do here. Stanton on as a response. Pops it back in the middle. Great roll ball. Stanton, they were up very quickly there, Davids. I thought maybe might have been offside. Last one here, though, for the Lebanese. Backos off the right foot. Touch is made from D'Urban Burgess. They're just so strong in both sevens.
Oh, New Zealand at the moment is putting on an absolute all-round clinic, but once again, the space was on that far edge. Lebanon not back in the hands, and Davids is just having a performance for the ages for New Zealand.
Great meters from him once more. So too is Sinclair, though. Geez, he's been sharp, and once more, there's the little tip-on play on the dummy as well. All the tricks coming out from Sinclair. Passive out the back. Here they go once more, changing the angle. Another absolute perler for New Zealand. Over the final hurdle, flipping up the legs. Bumelum left clutching at thin air, and a great finish there from Poi Hippie.
Oh, what can't this New Zealand team do? They've punished them in the wing, they've punished them in the link through the middle, and then just as Lebanon seems to have numbered up, there's the little switch on the inside. And for Lebanon, you must be thinking, what can we do? It's just too good.
Well, they've come out with a point to prove here in the second half, New Zealand. not resting on their laurels. 9-3 now. It's blown out dramatically and in very quick fashion too. Tachi brings it forward. Goss. Catalano on this right-hand side now. He switched things up a little bit. Takes off again. Oh, it was there for Razzie once more. They've probably bombed about 4 tries now, Lebanon.
Yeah, they have, and again, they'll look back at the missed opportunities. Ron, I think this is from New Zealand. I think this is a marker for the final. They said, yeah, Australia, we see you. You struggled against Lebanon. We're going to go and run an absolute masterclass.
It's a lovely little play there from Catalano. He was able to control the ball and play it in the one motion, and they got going as a result, and certainly I think New Zealand were trying to give Catalano a bit of his own medicine there.
Yeah, I think Catalano's also made the most of that. Bit of a flop on the floor, but hard touch. Link punishes on. They go for the corner.
Oh, and Azzy trying to play through. He will get the call here too. Davids didn't hit the line in time, and Charbel Azzy is on, and New Zealand. They've conceded one here. Lebanon just creeping back into the contest. 4-9, a long way to go though.
Yeah, a long way to go, but we saw yesterday there was hundreds of comebacks, hundreds of scores put against, and Lebanon, first time we've seen that link punish option, and we've seen the pace backed into the corner, so let's see if that's the framework for them to get back into this game.
So 9-4 the score. You mentioned there Catalano maybe milking that touch a little bit. We saw one of the great Emmy performances from Jason Stanton yesterday. He was touched and went flying as if he'd been knocked by Arnold Schwarzenegger himself, and then again, oh no. Boy, Hippie. Well, that is just ruthless with the finish. Are they going to call it back here? They will. So Lebanon survive, and that could be crucial in the context of things.
Yeah, forward pass given, spotted by the referees, and Lebanon are starting to ride their luck, but once again, the defensive read from New Zealand makes it impossible for meters to be made.
So JP Catalano through the middle now, drops it down. Here comes Josh Bakos. Bakos back for Catalano. Wasn't the option though. Needed to hit a little wider still as New Zealand head up towards their subs box. They lose their footing here.
Yeah, they do lose their footing, but they'll inject some pace. And here's Davids, my pick of the bunch so far. Been absolutely astounding both in attack and defence. Oh, New Zealand, let's play around. Could have been a 6 more, but just not given. And Lebanon, in this second half, are starting to find their feet, but they need scores down the other end to really stress out New Zealand.
Talked about how important it was for them to score first, though, Lebanon, and unfortunately they let a lot of tries head across their line before finally doing the same to New Zealand. So 9-4 it is as Tachi grabs across field. Stanton at first receiver. Dummy comes out of acting half, though, and early in the count. That's a coach killer.
Yeah, it is a real coach killer. David's just caught off the mark. For me, that support play on the Lebanese line attack was just a bit too flat. It was easy for New Zealand to just shuffle across and mark up. They need to take a leaf out of New Zealand's book. That passive link needs to be about 10 metres deeper.
Azzy coming up with a hard touch once more. Now Sinclair has them backpedaling. Mansour, though, quickest on the field. Oh, once more. What a cracking diving touch. He might be the quickest at the tournament here, Mansour.
And there's 2 he saved. Making the chase in the corner as New Zealand whip it open side. Intercept opportunity, not given. Oh, it's batted on from a Lebanese player. That will be play on and score.
Well, that's ridiculous here. Lebanon, they can't get any luck going at the moment. It had all broken down, and I think that one might break the spirits there too. I just watched Catalano, the head dropped. What can you do when even pinball goes the way of New Zealand?
Yeah, and I said intercept opportunity for Lebanon. I thought it was destined for a Lebanese hand, but New Zealand were the one who was quick to react. And I mean, it seems like everything is going against Lebanon at the moment, and it's not for a lack of trying. They've looked good value for their scores, but it just seems destined to run away from them.
10-4 here. Time beginning to run out as well. Lebanon need another score on the board. That won't help the cause. Down it goes. It's 10-4, Big Buddy. And they've thrown it away as well here. Lebanon, it's just silly stuff they're undoing in this one.
Yeah, I think the mentality's taken a bit of a beating. They felt like they were in this at half-time. I dare say that they're not in this anymore. It's all going the way of New Zealand, and this is a real marker being laid down from New Zealand, showing their intent. They don't want to settle for the silver medal. They want to coast through the rest of this game and really have a crack at the gold.
Well, at the moment, that is certainly what it looks like. is unfolding here. Will it be Australia or the Cook Islands that they take on, though, in the big dance? Lebanon, if they can hold out here, might have a little something to say. Or good read, though, from Shah Belazi. Had to be made.
Yeah, really good shoot. And the Lebanese middle, number 15, Gross, giving a big pump into the air, almost begging his teammates to go with him. Don't go down sleeping. They're not going to, but they need to defend another New Zealand onslaught.
Picked up again here. Now danger once more. Hutchison stretching out. Bumelum turns him away. Still a little bit to see off here, though. New Zealand, I fancy one more would well and truly do it as a contest. Hutchison again here. First receiver. Back out to this left-hand side. Hutchison trying to punish here. Goss. Oh, Goss just got the hand to him.
Yeah, it was millimetres in that, but once again you saw in motion the passive link wrapping around the back. I wonder if they'll hit that one next.
So wider still it goes here. Now for Willison. Willison dropping it down. Hotham. Oh, and this time a ripper of a ball here. What a pass from Graham. That is from the top shelf here for New Zealand.
And again, for Lebanon, another intercept opportunity. But it sort of reminds me of like Barcelona in 12. You're sort of thinking, just go make the touches. But the quality's too good. You just can't go and make it. And there's no time for Lebanon. New Zealand, this is an all-timer performance.
Well, arguably, the best possible test they could have got before a gold medal match would have been coming up against Lebanon. They've troubled just about everyone they've played, and they bullied Japan yesterday, 11-3 in the end. The Aussies, that was the only time they felt threatened, as well as Catalano. Now sends here for Brother Junior, and on wider still it goes. Finally, they get it right here, Lebanon, 11-5. I think they're going to run out of time, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's too little too late, but they do make the read, hitting the passive link. Catalano involved once again. He's been a bright spark for Lebanon. And as you were saying, this is the perfect tune-up game for the final. Stylistically, Lebanon and Australia marry up quite similarly. So New Zealand will take bags of confidence if they can see out what would be a late and quite miraculous Lebanese resurgence.
It's a good point you raised there, a very similar style. Of course, a lot of these Lebanon players are actually based Welcome back here to Nottingham. Apologies, we've had some technical difficulties here with the stream, but back into the action. New Zealand, since that stream's cut out, they've scored once, so 13-5 the score. Time running out here. Lebanon made a clutch touch right at the end of that previous set for New Zealand just to try and keep themselves momentarily alive, but they basically have to score with every touch of the ball from here on out, and that's why we're seeing it be a little bit more erratic here from the Lebanese. Stanton back on the inside, bringing out the trick plays, but New Zealand, we were talking about it just momentarily before that stream came back online. Frightening performance from New Zealand, probably one of their best of all time in the men's open division.
Oh, definitely. They've put on an absolute clinic. If you want to learn how to play touch rugby, you just watch this game and try and emulate what New Zealand have done to this Lebanese side. A Lebanese side that is dangerous, but look at the pace. That's a hard touch, not given. 50-50, lovely dummy. And the way that they're able to play around this Lebanese press that was the best that we've seen in this game with just ease. It's brutally good.
So David's now sending it on here for Willison. Oh, picked up again here from Davids. Davids floating along, picks it out. Oh, I thought the tap out was going to come to the fore there. Barnett was looking for a seventh.
Yeah, and it's not often you can say that you've had a double hat-trick against Lebanon, let alone look for more. And Lebanon have just seemed way too fractured in their attack. This is not the Lebanon men's open we're used to seeing.
Jonathan Weeb now out of acting half, caught there. So 13-5 for New Zealand. Only a few moments left in this one. Should be around about 3 minutes. We don't have the benefit of a clock here directly in front of us, nor a monitor, if you will. So you be the judge at home in terms of how much time is remaining. Is now Poi Hippie. Sends it here. Lateral movement now from Hutchison. It's all pretty easy at the moment here for New Zealand, though. They can go straight or sideways. D'Urban Burgess has them backpedaling. Oh, great ball. Beat them on the outside. The flick pass comes out New Zealand. Well, now they're in party mode.
And I'll tell you what, if not for some of this Lebanese scramble defence, this could be 20. In New Zealand have put them to the sword, and oftentimes it's last-ditch defensive efforts from Lebanon that stop New Zealand going over. I mean, they could have a collection of nominees for tries of the tournament based off this game alone.
Mansour now dropping it down. Bakos, Bumelum. Nice quick roll ball. Josh Bakos picks up once more here. George Azzi finds a great pass. Excellent try from Lebanon. The game might be done and dusted, but they haven't taken their foot off the pedal, and that was absolute clockwork there from Azzi.
Yeah, and that's much more of what we've come to expect from this Lebanese line attack. Engaging players, dummies, little show and goes, asking questions of the line defence. I think it just speaks to the quality at which New Zealand have approached this game and delivered, because Lebanon have had no time. That's the first time we've really seen them pull something out the hat.
So now Willison. Back out here on this right-hand side to Morris. Willison. Morris again. Oh, Mansour, good read. Be close to the best defensive winger of the tournament so far, Mansour. So now they head back to the middle here. Willison. Slumming it down. Oh, Tachi, good touch. Coming in. New Zealand stripping for numbers again. Mansour stops it, though. I'd love a compilation of all his defensive reads this tournament. He's probably saved at least 20 tries.
Oh, he's been world class on this swing, but I was sort of thinking as that ball popped up with the look of the Lebanese, probably going to land in a New Zealand hand for them to go over again. As we see a sweeper coming round, Lebanon dropping early. That'll be an easy penalty if they want to give it. They don't, so roll ball.
Willison cut out now. Davids wrapping around again, running at Catalano, back towards the middle. On here again for New Zealand. Poi Hippie, look at the speed from Mansour. And then crabbing across there to shut it down was Bumelum. But again, Mansour up to the task. Another set to deal with here as the troops arrive once more. Turner coming out now for New Zealand. Davids rolling it back. Out to this right-hand side. Slow build-up from New Zealand. Catalano didn't get back the required distance. They drop it inside quickly. Oh, that might be a sin bin here for Shab El Azzi. That was cynical. He'll be called out, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's off now.
Yeah, he knows as well. He knows he'd already started to walk off the field. About as blatant, a wry smile and a shake of the head as he jogs down the bottom end. And whether you're defending 5 or 6, New Zealand, I mean, I'd bet my house that they're going to go over again.
Well, as he'll take all the time in the world to even get to this marker. This one's done though. New Zealand will march on. They're going to be playing in the men's final, contesting for the World Cup. The journey here for Lebanon in terms of gold, it's ended. There might still be some silverware on the line though. They'll be going off to the bronze medal playoff, likely against the Cook Islands. They're taking on Australia at the moment. We'll find out that result very soon, but Lebanon, a terrific campaign from them so far.
Oh, genuinely terrific. And I was sort of eavesdropping on some of the Lebanese conversations. The end goal is not, you know, to challenge Australia because, yeah, Australia are cut above the rest, and this is Lebanon with very rare international touch experience. But the end goal is to actually just force their hand and get more international game experience, and they can hold their heads up high. Yes, you came up against what is one of the best team performances we've seen in World Cup history, but you are good value for your scores, and for me, the most entertaining team I've watched in this World Cup.
So full time here, New Zealand marching on to the gold medal match. Lebanon will play either Australia or the Cook Islands for the bronze. But well done to Jason Stanton and Team Lebanon for an outstanding campaign. New Zealand go from strength to strength, and we will see them in our final match of the day here on the last day of the World Cup for 2024.